Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We got a list of 8 properties on the Toronto system, 1 more on the Oakville Milton system. And one of the things I'm excited to share with you is the different layers to look at when you're examining some of these properties. And so we're going to start off with this one on Winslow Crossing. It certainly looks like the same model, of which we had 3 lists yesterday. And it's the Amesbury or the Brennan model, 1130 square feet. There's 1 washroom upstairs. The only other one that it could be is a Bolton if they manage to maybe not photograph the right house, but I'm pretty sure it's this one. The thing that's confusing to me is that the dining and family room, these 2 measurements should be the same because they're just 1 room together. What I like about it, there's hardwood everywhere. There's granite counters. It looks like they've done some upgrades in the bathroom as well. Wrought iron picket. So if that's the case, this one certainly looks like it's in the game regardless of which model. Even if it's the smaller Amesbury, I think they're really they've got a lot of upgrades in here. So Burroughs Gate is $379. It's called an Oak Grove or a Sumac corner. Just around around mid 1300s for square footage. This model comes in a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom. This is a 2-bedroom and there's a +1, so there's a little den office on the main floor. It looks like they've widened the driveway to do 2 cars side by side. And that's one of those things where people say to me a lot of times, I want a double garage. And I say, do you really need a double garage, or do you just want to park 2 cars side by side? And I would say at least half the people respond to that and say, I just don't want to switch my cars around. There's your main floor den right there. It can be used as a home office, a little bit of a workout room. A hobby room. I've got a client who's really into bikes, and so he's got a little bike workshop down there. And then you've got your 2 bedrooms upstairs. Now the value is more reflective of the model than whether it's 2 larger rooms versus 3 smaller rooms, but the 3 bedrooms does open up the audience a little bit. The highest version of this, or the highest sale for this model has actually been, I think it stopped right around $370. So at $379, I'm not seeing anything above and beyond what the other guys have sold for. In fact, I see a few less features on both of these. If there was one I had to bet on, I think it would be this one on Septimus because of the extra upgrades that they've done, the hardwood and so on. I still think that both of them are a little bit high. These guys do get a little bit of a premium for the wraparound porch. And what's interesting is you can actually see the new bridge on Louis St. Laurent in the background, which is kind of interesting as well. That should be up and running, I would think, probably in the next couple months. Baverstock is $384.9. And so when you think about the other ones at $379, there's really no backyard. They've got a side yard here. This is one that has a backyard. And so $384.9, it is a Bryant model, 1235 square feet, crown moldings, hardwood floors. And it's a pretty nice open concept floor plan. There's still only 1 full bathroom upstairs. There's no finished basement, and it looks like they've done a good job with their upgrades, and certainly a lot of care put into this one. Now, what's going on behind this one? I'm just trying to think. It says it's on the south side of the street. My perception is I always thought the Evens were on the north side, but if it's on the north side, Mattamy building right behind them, and it should just be homes behind this property. So Martin Street is 477.5. 57 by 142 foot lot. So it's a bungalow. Most of the time in Milton, the bungalows are kind of hovering somewhere between $400 and $450. They get a little bit of a premium for garage, premium for upgrades, and so on. So it looks okay inside. I think that having the 142 foot lot, an extra bit of depth might help them out a little bit. It's an easy location to get on the highway. Now here's a zoning map. And if you even just type in on Google, just type in Milton zoning. And so what you'll see is it's along this stretch here. And so it doesn't appear to be affecting these guys in any major way, but it is M1 designated. So it's industrial zoning behind these homes. And as far as I can tell, it's not something where you're going to hear, a lot of noise or anything, but there's always the chance. When something's zoned, you can always find that there's redevelopment and so on. So you just want to be aware of that before you get into a location like this, that it is right behind you, and it's not going to be homes behind or anything like that. So it seems a little bit high, but we do see that Martin is actually, it does tend to sell well. The homes tend to sell for good numbers. And there was a Toronto Star reporter that put Martin Street on one of the top 10 streets in the 905 area too. So row terrace is 560. Looks like it's less than 2,500 square feet. It's on a nice 40 by 100 foot lot, which is really the same size as a lot of properties in Bronte Meadows in the old section by the hospital. Stainless steel appliances, a little bit more basic kitchen, but again, I think that you could work with this. The hardwood floors, the hardwood stairs, glass shower. I think there's enough here that I could certainly see them justifying the value of around 560. Agnew, we're taking a step up to 859. So this is classified. They put it as a 6-bedroom. There's 5 up on the upstairs second floor, and then there's also a loft upstairs with what they consider to be a 6th bedroom. That's a lot of home to put on a 38 by 100 foot lot. So we're talking 3860 square feet, and it's sitting right across from a park as well. So as far as I can tell, if you look at where it is on Agnew, you can't really see the building, but basically the street goes right here. The home is probably about there, and then there's a little bit of bush here, and then there's the forest. So the people might say, are there going to be homes on this side? This is all designated as greenbelt, so we shouldn't see development on the other side of the street. What I like about this location, you've got the new Colson School here, you've got Guardian Angels over here, you've got a nice tract of green space, you've got the splash pad right here, you've got a walking trail through the Union Gas line, so there's a lot of nice features, I think, of being around this home. I think it's in an ideal spot. You're pretty far east, so you're getting a newer home, but you're getting much further east than the west escarpment stuff, which means you save time on your drive if you're heading into Mississauga. And the last one in this list is on Campbellville at 929. So it's about 8.67 acres. It looks like it's more than 3,500 square feet. And so there's a lot of charm with this one here. Going to see this one is really the only way to tell the value. I mean, it's very hard to do this by pictures. I don't know why there's just a bench sitting on its own. There's the value of some of the outbuildings and something like this. But I would say for the raw land, for the proximity to town, and for the size of the home, it certainly looks like it's within range. And so one of the things to look at too, I'll show you where this one is on Campbellville Avenue, or Campbellville Road, sorry. So there's Campbell Avenue that splits off, and then there's Campbellville Road. And so you've got, depending on which side of the street it's on, that's 16 Mile Creek right there. And so you've got escarpment protected areas. So this whole zone, if you go to escarpment.org, there's a section where you can look up the maps. I'll put a link to the maps and the zoning and everything else below the video. But you really want to look and say, okay, this is mineral extraction right here. This is escarpment protected. You've got your Hilton Falls area right here. You do have a little bit of highway noise you're going to hear being anywhere on Campbellville Road. So these are the kind of things that you want to look into before you pursue this too much, is what kind of restrictions would I have in the future. Obviously, with them putting an addition on, I can't see it being extremely restrictive, but there are rules. I mean, basically, if you're in that escarpment zone, the planning committee that's normally involved in the town, you're going straight to the escarpment committee instead. Now we've got one more on Antonelli Lane, and so this one's at 529. It's just over 2,000 square feet. It's called a Shady Glen. It's a Madame version. The old one had 3 bedrooms, and it didn't have a lot of ensuite or closet space in the master. This one adds a bedroom, a bigger ensuite, plus more closet space. So they really solved the problem that a lot of people had with it. The main floor is terrific. They've done some great upgrades here. I like the color of flooring. I like the way that they really warmed up the walls here. The colors look good. This is called HDR photography. It's a high contrast kind of photography. And so you can see open concept family room. They've done the rounded arches. They've done the pot lights here. Breakfast bar in the kitchen. Plus there's an area to put a table. They've done some great upgrades. I wouldn't be surprised. Normally when we see up at 530, we see homes a little bit bigger than this. But I think that they've got the finishes to really deliver, and I'm confident that these guys should sell this home for a very good number. And Tonelli's nice and close to a park. It's a relatively low traffic street. Very impressed with it. So that's the list for today. Again, I'll put some of the links to the zoning plus the escarpment stuff so you can really do some proper research before looking at anything, especially outskirts of town, but even something like Martin, which is right in town, to know what's going to go on around it. is very helpful in your search. So have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow with more Milton Daily Homes.